She didn't plan to die here, but one step and everything changed.
Naomi's journey began with heartbreak, the kind that doesn't just bruise your heart, but leaves it cracked and bleeding. She had loved 3 times and failed 3 times. The first man promised her marriage, only for her to discover he already had a wife in another city. The second, whom she had supported through school, left her behind and said she was no longer on his level. The third one broke her completely. He proposed, collected money for business, and disappeared without a trace. 3 betrayals. 3 failures. By the third, Naomi stopped believing in love. At the same time, she had no steady source of income. Jobs were scarce. She tried petty trading, hair braiding, and small hustles, but nothing lasted. Bills piled up. Rent was overdue. Friends pulled away. People whispered, she's just mentally unstable now. And in truth, Naomi was breaking down. She could not sleep. She barely ate. She cried at night, then forced a smile during the day, pretending she was fine. But inside, she carried a storm. One afternoon, when the weight of it all felt unbearable, her mind whispered, "End it." She walked past the market, past the churchyard, until she reached an abandoned compound. There stood an old, uncovered well, grass grown tall around it, its dark mouth yawning open. Naomi stood at the edge and looked down. She thought of the men who had left her. She thought of the bills waiting at home. She thought of the voices that called her failure. And she stepped closer. But before she could decide, the ground shifted. Her foot slipped. She fell. Darkness swallowed her. Her body slammed against a ledge inside the well. Pain shot through her ribs. She screamed, her voice bouncing off the stone walls. Neighbors heard. A bicycle repairer, a market woman, and a teenager ran over. They tied a rope, lowered it, and pulled Naomi up bruised, weak, but alive. At the hospital, the doctor shook his head and said, "Some don't survive. You're lucky." Your story could have ended here. Lying there, Naomi realized something. Yes, she had failed in love 3 times. Yes, she had no job, no money, no stability. But maybe, just maybe, her story wasn't finished. Delay is not denial. What she thought was the end was only an interruption. Naomi decided to fight back. She started therapy. She went for church counseling. She joined a women's support group where she listened to other women's stories of heartbreak and depression. Slowly, she began to heal her mind. She also decided to build her skills. She took free online courses. She learned digital work. She started freelancing, small jobs at first, typing documents and designing simple logos. Little by little, she grew. Months passed. Then years. Naomi kept growing. And then, something surprising happened. Love returned. Not rushed, not deceptive, not manipulative. A kind man, patient enough to walk with her healing, strong enough to hold her hand without controlling her. At first, Naomi almost ran away, afraid of being betrayed again. But she remembered the well. She remembered what survival meant. She chose to believe again. They got married in a quiet, beautiful ceremony. Today, Naomi earns in dollars as a remote freelancer. She works with international clients. Bills no longer frighten her. Poverty no longer defines her. She looks at her husband and remembers how close she came to never living this life. Naomi almost died in a well. But God spared her. She survived. Others might not. That is why every well must be covered, a simple act that can save countless lives. And beyond the physical well, this story is proof. Failures are not final. Healing is possible. Love is real, and a broken story can still end beautifully. Naomi's life is the evidence. Thanks for watching.